What's Your Self Talk? Welcome. Now we're here every Tuesday, 7:45, and I thank you for joining me today. And if this is your first time here, and you may wonder what is WYST, that means What's Your Self Talk? And so the goal of this show is to ask that simple question: what is your self talk? What are you choosing to focus on? Are you choosing to be growth mind or fixed mind? Positive or negative? And understanding your choice of being growth minded or being positive and then acting on that, well, you'll get the results that you probably want in life. Now, you do the opposite, that fixed mind and that negative, you may not get the results that you really want, or maybe you will. So, the goal of this show is just to continue to encourage you with ideas, experts, and just continue to introduce to you anything that's going to push you forward to making sure that you can able to get the results that you want in your life. So today I want to talk specifically about what is this transcend. So some people have asked, I've actually sat down with some people as well, but what I want to do today is go in depth how Transcend have sponsored a few of these of my live streaming that I'm doing with you today. And actually, they sponsor some of this audio that you're listening to right now. So it's probably a little bit more clear. You can hear a little bit better. And I want to let you know how I've had a chance to work alongside of them and help to continue to bring awareness to what this transcend and what is this transcend life. And you may see hashtag transcend life today, or you just see me continue to talk about this and make it part of my lifestyle, because to be honest with you, it is. All right, so first let's start with transcend. What does that even mean? All right, so transcend means to rise above the normal range of limits that we put on ourselves. And so Transient is a training company that introduces, specific tools that we use to help break barriers out of people's lives that really want to be able to tap into their true potential. But sometimes we don't really understand what it really takes to get to our true potential. And so I'm going to explain just a few of the programs that Transcend have and how I'm so grateful to be able to work alongside of them and making sure that you can allow yourself to transcend. And so today I actually have some interviews as well that we have from one of our last programs. And I want you to be able to learn from these people specifically and how they can be helpful for you. Let you know, hey, maybe I need to check out this Transcend and be a part of, tapping into my potential. Okay. So before I start, I think I'm going to actually roll one of the interviews. And before I go into it, I want to give you an introduction. So we have one program that's called Transcend Awakening. Transcend Awakening is just awakening you to those potentials that you really have inside of you. But what holds us back is what we call self-limiting beliefs. Maybe you heard of them, maybe you're not. But self-limiting beliefs are sometimes self-imposed, maybe by society, by family, by our environment. And because of those self-limiting beliefs, we do not allow ourselves to see what we really can do. Or we stop ourselves and say, well, I can only do this. Oh, I can only do this or that, or whatever that is. And we do it to ourselves. I do it to myself as well. So I want you to be able to see this first interview, and then it will come back and I'll talk a little bit more about Transcend program, and we'll go from there. So this first interview is going to be from James Friend, who actually works at one of the temporary agencies here locally. So let's see what he had to say about his experience at Transcend Awakening.
This one for me was learning about how we're conditioned. I mean, I think we all know that. Jabari and David were telling their different stories. So I think when you started hearing about it, you get that mindset of, oh, yeah, I mean, you think I'm in this place and this is what I can do. Or then I started thinking about the limit. So I'm thinking, growing up, you go, hey, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is all I can reach. And then you think about it and you're like, wait, if I let all those outside factors go of what mom and dad tell me or what my friends tell me or what I tell myself, I can do whatever I want to do. And I can do it now. I just got to push forward. Oh, I think just getting in there and getting the knowledge of, hey, just no matter what you did in the past, that's the past. You can start new today and, like I said, push forward. So, I mean, if there's something you want to achieve, go to it, take the knowledge that Jabari and David give you, take your notes, and then crush it. Just go let that primal scream out and just crush your goals. It'd be great for college kids. I mean, because you're still new to this whole process and you're not reached a business level yet. And I think the earlier somebody gets into this, they won't build up those walls or those fears or those comfort zones. But then for business leaders, it would be a great tool. I mean, if it's your business and you want to grow and you need to get out there, then you can't be stuck in a box and think, oh, my business is going to do great as long as I hang out here. No, I mean, you have to branch out.
All right, so there you go. So James Fran, I love everything he had to say. And one thing that I love is about, how we're conditioned. See, we're conditioned to think certain ways. When we're faced with certain situations, we are conditioned to think, oh, this is how I'm supposed to respond. Or maybe you're conditioning in something that you've never been aware of. And conditioning just means that when a certain circumstance come up or situation come up, you're conditioned to respond like you respond. So let's say for me, an upbringing, I never seen my mom and dad together. Well, I take that back. I seen them together, but they was always arguing. So I never seen a happy marriage. I never seen my parents happy. And so I could grow up with that same upbringing saying, well, marriage is supposed to look like what it looked like for my mom and dad. But that's not true. And I never allowed that to be a self-limiting belief saying that is what my marriage is going to look like. And so I automatically had start conditioning myself, whether I know it or not, to say I won't have that type of relationship with my wife. I won't look like that for myself. And through life, we condition ourselves. Now, that was a good form of conditioning. Now, also, we have bad form of conditionings as well. And that's what you have to understand going through this program and present it in the context that we do present it. You can understand what James was saying. And so he's a business leader here locally and understanding why that is important. And for business leaders, and if you have your own business, maybe you're an entrepreneur, maybe you have employees that work with you, you ask yourself, what are some self-limiting beliefs that maybe my employees are having that is not allowing them to really do their best at their job, to be their best self? Maybe you don't ask that question. Or maybe you do, and you're wanting to figure out a way to get results and better results. And so you don't have to micromanage them so much, and so that you can be able to go off and do what you want to do and know that your business is being taken care of by people who love their job and love everything associated with it. So that's Transient Awakening. Now, we have another program, which is Transcend Alive. Now, before I go into Transcend Alive, I do want you to be able to see one more interview that we actually have. We have some other ones, but I don't want to take up too much time from you as far as learning what Transcend is. So this next one is going to be from Darius Dunaway. Now, Darius Dunaway, he is actually someone who's involved with sports at Arkansas State University here in town. So check out what he had to say about his experience at Transcend Awakening.
My name is Darius Dunaway. I work with Fellowship of Christian Athletes, FCA, here at Arkansas State University's campus, working specifically with football and basketball, even some track as well. Well, when I went through Transcend Awakening, something that was very beneficial to me was the practice of being able to stay focused on what you want to improve on. There was a point in time where you guys said, hey, what is that one thing that you want to be better at? And can you practice on focusing on that the whole time? That's where you'll take more out of what you're, out of being in this lesson, out of being in this class. If you can focus on that one thing, it was very helpful for me to be able to remind myself of why I was there, things I want to be better at as well. And also always be reminded that you can do whatever you want to do, or you can be whatever you want to be right now. But we live in a world right now where people tell you can and can't do different things, and sometimes we believe that lie as well. Sometimes we believe that lie that maybe I'm not worth it, especially in the sports world when a coach gets on your case, and because you're not doing the things that you may need to do, you can get down on yourself and start believing the lie that you're not what you are created to be, which is great. And this helps because you get a chance to refocus, take a deep breath, and relax, and remember that you can be whoever You can do whatever you want to do or be right now. So I think that applies in every, even in workplace, how hard you work, the things you do. I mean, your why on why you're doing it. It gives it more value. It gives your work more value, more purpose. As a coach, as a business owner, as whatever, as an FCA guy, it gives your work more value when you can find out your why and strengthen it.
So I love how you end that, so you can find your why and strengthen that. Because every day we have a different set of situations that we're faced with. And we want to understand, maybe, how do I deal with this? Because you're personally responsibility for yourself. But sometimes you have responsibilities that others are going to look to you and say, well, what do I do here? Or how do I do this? Or how do I do that? And you have to tap into a form of creativity sometimes that you don't feel like doing at that time. Whether you are a leader, whether you are in the sports world. Trust me, I played football and I played on that Division I level, and it's time like you don't feel like it, but you have to push through. You need the grind to be able to make it. So that's what I love about Transcend Awakening program specifically, is that we talk about this, but we have you associated with what you're learning, because it's not just a lot of information that's being thrown at you, but we have you associate with it in this new and exciting and a fun way, so that you can understand that you can be whoever you want to be, and you can be that person right now. And when you get off track, help yourself to come back to those tools. Help yourself to see, hey, this training is an anchor for me, because it reminds me what I actually can do. All right, so next we have Transcend Alive. Now this here is much more intense and very fun experience, because it allows you to tap into what we call, it's a paradigm shift. So we have those self-limiting beliefs, but sometimes they build into more of a life experiences. And because of the life experiences that we have, it allows us to communicate and see life and what we can do in certain ways. So if you ever heard of, having that paradigm shift, is when you want to accomplish something or do something with your life, but you never had any personal experiences or life experiences that are associated with that. And so you restrict yourself to be able to see, oh, I can do this. I can make a difference in the world like I want to. I can make an impact in my family. I can break the generation curse, or whatever it is for you. See, the thing is that we don't tell you specifically. The thing is, you already know. You already know what you want to do. We help pull it out. And that's what I love about the Transcend Alive. So that's what I love about Transcend Alive, is because we really focus in on that. And so if you want to learn more about Transcend, go to www.transcendlife.net. There you'll see more specifics about when the programs we're actually holding. You can see when the Transcend Awakening, when Transcend Alive, and you can see more videos specifically of other people as well talking about it. And we spend a lot of time making sure that this message is prepared and is ready for you to really receive, and receive in a way that we know you're ready for. And everybody's situation is different. Your company is different. Your school is different. And we understand that. And so that's why we work so hard at making sure we explain this to you in a way that's very helpful. So I'm honored to be able to bring this to you and help you understand, what is your self-talk? And what is something that you can do to start transcending past those limits that you put on yourself? Because once you realize that you're more in control than you really are, then that's when you can tap into your true potential. That's when you can be your best self. And I promise you, I'm going to always be here to help you and move you past those excuses, move you past those self-limiting beliefs, move you past those life experiences. And that's what we do at Transcend. We want you to live this Transcend life. So when you see me hashtag Transcend Life today, that's me choosing to break those limits that I maybe put on myself. Maybe I want to be more productive. Maybe I want to be more disciplined and focus on my mission and reaching as many people as possible. Now I have a goal this year that I'm going to do that, but I don't want to go into too much detail. But I just wanted this to be informal to you, to understand that Transcend is something I'm proud to be a part of, and that this will be something, as we call the 21st century new wave of self-improvement. And the reason it is a new wave of self-improvement because nobody is doing it like this before. And when you come to our programs and you come to our events, you can be able to see that, and you can be able to understand what these fellas have told us. So we'll have a lot more, but I thank you for joining me. This has just been something specifically I wanted to do to reach out to you. So for those who say, hey, what is Transcend Awakening? What does that mean? How can I learn more information? Well, here you are. So that question I always ask you is, what's your self-talk? And so when you think about it in relation to Transcend, think about, well, what are the limits you're putting on yourself? And what are the things that you want to get better at? And so if you ask yourself, what's your self-talk? What do you believe? And how is that filtering the way you look at yourself? Look at what you can do. And when you maybe stop yourself, it's like, well, I can't do this. I can't. Well, I want you to think about what we talked about today, okay? Even if you never had any association with it, I want you to think about today. Because here's the truth. In order for you to be able to move past of being more healthier or having more better relationships, having more income, having more of whatever you want, you need to first associate with people that believe you can have more of what you want, and then giving you the tools and understanding, and then the confidence to move forward so that you can be able to experience that. It's hard to do that when you're around people who are stuck in those self-limiting beliefs and they don't want to change. And when you realize that, I hope you think about what we talked about today. All right? So I want you to go out, apply this simple question that I always ask you. What's your self-talk? Do you believe you can have more? Do you believe you can do more? Do you believe you can be more? If so, I want you to reach out to me or go to the website, ask questions. That is the only reason. When you speak up and say, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to do this, that's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for, okay? So thank you for watching. Go take advantage of your life. Really, it's your life. You're responsible for what you do and what you don't do. So go take charge, and you know the question that I always ask you, what's your self-talk? Thank you for watching.